5:47.
Okay. And once again, I don't know, this might be the third year in a row. I know it's the second. Administration of oaths should not be on the agenda. This is for when we have a tax appeal hearing and we all recite the oath prior to that. So you can cross off number 2.
Is there anybody not here?
The Stuart and Michelle Lindberg are not here, and I did not hear from them as to whether they were coming or anything. So,
Just those two?
just those 2. I've got Chris, Bob, Janice, Joshua, George, Mike,
Sounds like they want to be co-chairs.
Dave, Chris Leonard. Okay. And Rolf. Yes. Your experience.
Okay, are you gonna take over the meeting for this part?
Well, I take minutes, so it's a little hard to run it as well. So as Mike has been the chairman of the Board of Civil Authority, along with Doris Eddy, they were co-chairs.
Co-chairs.
So it's up to the board what they'd like to do, if they'd like to nominate a new chairperson. If they want to go with co-chairs, is fine as well. But that would be up to you.
Yep. So I guess we'll take nominations for chair, or do we have a discussion about co-chairs?
Make motion for Mike to be the chair.
Second.
How has it worked with the co-chairs?
It's
Is
been
that
fine,
fair?
Doris has been,
Doris
More-
was conflicted out at one point. if you
right,
recall.
but she's also been mostly just letting me run things, and it's okay, so
Right.
I don't mind being the chair if you guys are okay with that, if you want to elect.
That works, I guess.
Okay, so we'll stick with just
So we
one
have a
chair.
first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Fools.
Okay.
Okay,
I will kind of take it over from here, though,
go
I guess.
go right ahead.
March 4th, Tuesday, from 10 to 7, is the voting for town meeting positions and Australian ballots. And I am required to have a JP at all times during they actually asked for 2 of them, but that's been difficult. I think this is the first time in a long time we've had a full board of 7 justices.
I can,
You can,
I
so
can,
if anybody can let me know, I'm available
I am.
all day, or I'm only available from this time to that time, or not available. So,
Unusual 5 to 7.
yeah,
4:30
I know
or
you
so.
usually come after school, so,
I
I
have
can
an
come
early,
anytime.
yeah,
early afternoon meeting in Springfield, but
but morning,
morning,
okay.
what time you start at 10?
We start at 10.
It'll be at Proctorsville, the fire station?
It'll be at the Proctorsville Fire Station, and our town meeting is going to be on Saturday, March 1st at 2 o'clock at the Cavendish Elementary School. And we're trying to get that out as much, it's a change this year, so anybody you see, please ask them if they are aware that town meeting has changed from the Monday night prior to voting to that Saturday at 2 p.m.
And
The
we asked-
previous Saturday.
And we asked maybe the elementary school to put something in their weekly,
They could put it in the
their
Friday.
newsletter, yeah,
Friday folder.
just if they could.
I'll send
that'd
them
be
a,
great.
I'll send them the notice that I printed that I put on the door in the
Ask them.
town meeting. So you can email me when you know your schedule, or you can let me know what your limitations or availability are.
I will not be there because I work all day. So.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
Well-
anytime if you need somebody.
Yeah. and you're
I can take the
pretty
day
open.
off, too.
Okay. And I know you generally work during the day
Yeah, I
as
can
well.
come after work.
So, I mean, it's the situation too. People have work jobs, so we work around that. And I guess just so the justices understand, the new justices, because we have several, that the select board members are also members of the Board of Civil Authority and the Board of Tax Abatement. Okay. And then really, I just wanted to, on number 5, review of procedures for lodging the grand list and grievance hearings. This is just a calendar of being a justice of the peace. It generally starts in March with elections, and then if we don't this year, but in future years, the August primary, then the November general election for state, and every 4 years for presidential. But then what happens in June, we lodge the grand list, which is the value of all of the properties in town. And that's as of April 1st of each year. So this particular year, on 4/1/25, that will be the last transfer that comes through that can be on the 2025 grand list. Anything received April 2nd or on, it has to wait. It's a work in progress for the 2026 grand list. And to be a little confusing as the state and the Vermont Department of Taxes can be, they run the grand list on a calendar year. We do everything else on a fiscal year ending June 30th of each year, but the state does that grand list on a calendar year. So that is, that will be pretty much done as of April 1st, 2025, and then we have till June 4th for a town of our size to lodge the grand list with the state. On that same day, we mail out notices to anybody whose assessed value changed over the course from last year. And they are given an opportunity to schedule a grievance hearing, which it is within 2 weeks of the date. It's a moving target, so it's, as I said, between the 2nd of April and June 4th is when you can lodge the grand list, and the 2-week grievance period starts from the day you lodge it. So those grievances are heard with the town's assessor. People make an appointment, they come in and they discuss the value, why it was changed. It's up to the property owner to prove that we are not assessing them properly, either too high or too low. And then, once that grievance hearing takes place 14 days from the lodging of the grand list, they get a notice that says if you're not in agreement with this, you can file with your Board of Civil Authority to appeal your assessment. Again, 2 weeks. So we're up to the end of June now, and then we'll make appointments, and they usually take place in July. We haven't had any appeals in the last couple of years to the Board of Civil Authority. Sometimes that happens and you don't get any. That is something that before we have an appeal, we'll go through, we'll have a meeting where we do a little bit of training for anybody new who wants to know what they're looking at and how we hold a hearing. So that's pretty much it, unless, as far as the calendar goes, and then it won't affect this. Your term expires February 1st, 27? Is that right? So in June of 2027 will be the results of our townwide reappraisal. That will most likely be a little bit busy after that gets lodged, because people will take issue with some of it.
Right.
So if you plan on running again, at that point. But it should not be a lot of hearings scheduled for this summer. I don't know if anybody has any questions about the process.
Just remind them what a grievance, I mean, aside from us meeting with the representative, it's usually Al,
Yeah,
and we have to then go out and inspect the property. So we have to do that within 2 weeks? Or
it's
we
2 weeks, yeah, from
Go
the
out
hearing.
and write a report up about what we saw, what we thought, and then come back and go over the whole thing, and it'll be like, say, the three of us that inspect the property and share our report with the rest of you. So if we have like 5 properties, it may be 3 of us doing one, you guys doing another, and then we all share the information, so. It takes a long time because we have to all coordinate with going out to the property with the homeowner, so they're there and they can let us
Right.
in and show us what they think, and so.
Yeah, and you would always have someone experienced and who's done that before. We wouldn't send 3 new BCA members out. And prior to that, as I said, we can go over like the property record cards, which lists out different values for the land, for the outbuildings, for the house, and all. And those are things we'll go over before the first hearing. I think that's it
That's it.
for that.
So when can you let me know if you want me for the whole day? For voting, because I can take the day off.
Okay,
I
I
don't have
will,
an
I
issue
will
with
look at
that.
that tomorrow and give you a heads up so you know in advance.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
Schedule. I'll email you tomorrow.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Any other business?
Well,
Anybody?
besides me. I just wanted to make you aware, VLCT, the Vermont League of Cities and Towns, has a lot of resources. And if you go on vlct.org, as justices of the peace and select board members, you can actually sign up, get an account, and they'll probably, when you register, they'll email you a code or something. And then you can sign up, and the resources, there's manuals, there's so much information available on there. They also have, I saw on the 14th of May, that in the morning they have a, how to handle tax appeals effectively. So there's some training they have online, Zoom training that you can, webinars you can attend. Sometimes they have ones that you go and attend and get lunch. And, but there's a lot of resources available. And they used to be, you could just go in and pull them up. Now that they've done the member system, I think you have to go in and log in. So that's good to get started on that. Another good resource is the Vermont Department of Taxes Property Valuation and Review Department. They have a handbook on property tax assessment appeals. They go over many, many things about how properties are assessed. And then the Secretary of State's office with Justice of the Peace guides, and again, more how to do things as an appointed or elected official. I do have, if anybody wants me to email them or provide them with copies, hard copies, if you don't have a printer at home and you don't, yeah. And then there's, well, we don't quite need this yet, the handbook on property tax appeals. And then Justice of the Peace. And then we have our own, which will again come up before any appeal hearings. The Board of Civil Authority has a rules of procedure for property tax assessment appeal hearings that it's kind of a script that gets followed at every hearing. So I can get you copies of that too, if you're interested. anybody else want me to
Yeah, you can write.
I'll print them out.
Yes, please.
for you?
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Um,
I think some of it's in here, but I'll take.
other than just informational business, I don't have anything else. I did schedule it for 45 minutes in case we needed more time, but,
Anybody else have anything?
This is my last meeting.
Huh?
This is my last meeting with us anyway, I guess.
well, that's right. George is not running for select board again, and he's been a select board member, I know, since I started in 2003. I know you were on the board well before that.
Yeah, well, around that time, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that,
Yeah. Been a
Yeah.
long time.
yeah. Well, glad to see there's new people on the board and here, and, you know, it's very good that people are getting involved more and learning the process, because that education is valuable.
Alright, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None?
I always have tons of seconds on
Yeah,
adjourning.
right. Everybody jumps in.